All right, ever find yourself stuck on the side of the road staring at your car like it's speaking a foreign language?
Tell me about it.
Well, today's deep dive is all about the folks who rescue us in those moments. Roadside vehicle technicians, you're clearly someone who likes to be prepared, so we're going beyond just changing tires, and we're diving into what it really takes to thrive in this career.
You've hit the nail on the head. It's a career that demands a very, very unique blend of skills. Mechanical expertise is a given, but you've got to be a bit of a detective and a diplomat, all rolled into one.
I like that. A detective, A&D, a diplomat. So let's start with the basics. The RoleCatcher guide paints a picture of a job that's way more than just jump starts and tire changes.
Absolutely.
Oh,
We're
right.
talking about, diagnosing complex engine problems, electrical system malfunctions, you name it. And doing it all under pressure, often on the side of a busy road, maybe in in less than ideal weather conditions.
That's where those detective skills come in, right? I'm picturing Sherlock Holmes with a wrench.
Huh. Not a bad analogy. You've got to be able to assess a situation quickly and accurately, often with limited information. And that means using your knowledge of vehicle systems, your diagnostic tools.
Speaking of tools, can you give us some specifics? What kind of gadgets are we talking about here?
Well, the trusty OBD scanner is a staple. That's how we tap into the vehicle's computer system to read those error codes and diagnose engine problems. But then you've got multimeters for electrical testing, pressure gauges for various systems. The list goes on. And with the rise of electric vehicles, those tools are becoming even more specialized.
Oh, right. Electric vehicles, that's a whole other ball game, isn't it? The guide touched on that, but I'm curious to dive a little deeper.
It's a game changer, for sure. Forget about jump-starting an EV with a set of jumper cables. You're going to need a portable charging station, which can be a significant investment.
Wow, I never considered that. So it's not just about fixing a flat anymore. It's about having the equipment and the know-how to deal with these new technologies.
Exactly. And it's not just the equipment, it's the safety protocols, too. You're dealing with high-voltage systems in an EV, so specialized training is a must. You can't just dive in without understanding the risks involved.
That makes a lot of sense. So you need a strong foundation in traditional mechanics, but you've also got to be adaptable and stay ahead of the curve with all of the technological advancements. Sounds like a lot to juggle.
It definitely keeps things interesting, but that's one of the things that drew me to this field, the constant challenge and the opportunity to keep learning, keep growing.
I can see that. It's not just a job, it's a constantly evolving field. But let's talk about the human element for a second. Because while you're dealing with all this technology, you're also dealing with people. And they are probably not having the best day if they're stuck on the side of the road.
You're right. You're right. That's where the diplomat part comes in. You've got to be able to communicate effectively with people who are stressed, frustrated, maybe even a little scared.
It's almost like you're a therapist with a toolbox sometimes.
Huh. There have been times when that felt pretty accurate, but seriously, being able to calm someone down, reassure them that you're there to help, that can make all the difference. It's about building trust in those moments.
And that trust probably goes a long way, especially when you're explaining what might be wrong with their car and how much it's going to cost to fix.
You're telling me transparency is key. I always try to explain things in plain English, avoid any technical jargon that might go over their heads. Because let's be real, no one wants a lecture on engine mechanics when they're stranded on the side of the highway. They just want to know what's going on and how soon they can be on their way.
I can absolutely see that. Now, the RoleCatcher guide mentioned ASE certifications. What exactly are those, and how important are they for someone considering this career path?
Great question. ASC certification, that stands for Automotive Service Excellence, is basically the gold standard in the auto repair industry. It's a way for technicians to prove their knowledge and skills in different areas of vehicle repair and maintenance.
So it's like a badge of honor that says this person knows their stuff.
Precisely. And it can make a big difference when you're applying for jobs. Employers know that ASE certified technicians have met rigorous standards, so it gives them that extra level of confidence.
Makes sense. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about the future of roadside assistance. Because with all the talk about self-driving cars and electric vehicles, it seems like this field is on the verge of some major changes.
You're right. The industry is evolving rapidly, and with those changes come both challenges and opportunities.
Like what? Give us a glimpse into the future of this career.
Well, some people might think that self-driving cars mean fewer breakdowns and less demand for roadside assistance. But the reality is, any vehicle, no matter how advanced, can have problems. And those problems might require a whole new set of skills and knowledge to diagnose and fix.
So instead of fixing a flat tire, you might be troubleshooting a software glitch.
Exactly. Imagine trying to explain to a self-driving car why it can't drive through a construction zone. That's going to take some serious tech skills. And as electric vehicles become more common, we'll need even more technicians who are trained to handle high-voltage systems safely and effectively.
So the need for skilled technicians isn't going away anytime soon. It's just evolving.
Exactly. In fact, I'd say the demand for highly skilled technicians is only going to increase. Think about it. As vehicles become more complex, there are fewer people who are equipped to work on them. That's where those specialized certifications and a willingness to embrace new technologies become absolutely crucial.
It sounds like adaptability and a love of learning are essential qualities for anyone looking to thrive in this career long term.
Couldn't agree more. The days of relying solely on a wrench and a Haynes manual are fading fast.
So for those who are intrigued by this career path, what would you say are some of the most important skills and qualities besides the obvious mechanical aptitude, of course?
Well, as we've discussed, problem solving is huge. You've got to be able to think on your feet, diagnose issues quickly and accurately, often with limited information.
It's that whole detective aspect we talked about earlier.
Exactly. And then there's the communication piece. Being able to explain complex technical issues to someone who may have zero mechanical knowledge, that's a skill in itself. It takes patience, empathy, and the ability to break things down into simple, understandable terms.
And let's not forget the importance of staying calm under pressure.
Absolutely. Because things can get pretty stressful out there on the side of the road. You're dealing with traffic, maybe bad weather, and a driver is likely having a pretty bad day. Being able to stay cool, collected, and focused on the task at hand, that's essential.
It sounds like a career that's equal parts challenging and rewarding. But let's talk about the practical side for a moment. The RoleCatcher guide mentioned that this job can be physically demanding and often involves working in less than ideal conditions.
That's definitely true. You're out there in all kinds of weather, scorching heat, freezing cold, you name it. And you're often working in awkward positions, under cars, in tight spaces. It's not for the faint of heart.
So you need to be physically fit and resilient to handle the demands of the job.
Absolutely. You're on your feet a lot, lifting heavy objects, and sometimes working in uncomfortable environments. But for many, the challenges are outweighed by the sense of accomplishment and the satisfaction of helping people in need.
I can imagine there's a certain sense of satisfaction that comes with solving those roadside puzzles and getting people back on their way.
You hit the nail on the head. There's nothing quite like seeing the relief on someone's face when you tell them, you found the problem and you can fix it. It's those moments that make all the challenges worthwhile.
It's like being a roadside hero. Now, for someone who's thinking, this sounds like my kind of gig, where do they even begin? What are the typical steps to becoming a roadside vehicle technician?
Well, the RoleCatcher guide highlighted a few different paths. A high school diploma or equivalent is usually the starting point. But from there, many aspiring technicians enroll in vocational schools or technical colleges to get more specialized training in automotive repair.
So getting that hands-on experience is key.
Absolutely. You can't learn everything from a textbook. Some people go the apprenticeship route, working under an experienced technician to learn the ropes on the job. And then there are those who gain experience, working on their own cars or helping friends and family with repairs.
Right. It's all about building a solid foundation of knowledge and practical skills.
Exactly. And as we talked about earlier, those ASE certifications can give you a real leg up in this competitive job market. They show potential employers that you've met industry standards and have the skills they're looking for.
So it's about investing in yourself, getting those credentials, and then putting yourself out there.
Precisely. Networking is huge in this field. Attending industry events, connecting with people online. Those are all great ways to meet potential employers and learn about job opportunities. And RoleCatcher has some excellent tools for that. Their platform makes it easy to connect with other professionals in the automotive industry.
It's like having a digital Rolodex, but tailored specifically to your career goals.
Exactly. It can really streamline the job search process and help you connect with the right people.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the key takeaways for our listeners who are considering a career as a roadside vehicle technician? What's the final word of advice?
I'd say if you're someone who loves a good challenge, enjoys working with your hands, and gets a thrill out of problem solving, this could be the perfect career path for you. It's a field that's constantly evolving, so there's always something new to learn. And as long as there are cars on the road, or should I say vehicles of all kinds, there will always be a demand for skilled technicians to keep them running smoothly.
It's a career that offers stability, the opportunity to continuously learn and grow, and the satisfaction of knowing you're making a real difference in people's lives. Because let's be real, we all rely on those roadside heroes to come to our rescue when our vehicles decide to throw a tantrum.
That's a great way to put it. And who knows, maybe one day some of our listeners will be the ones providing that much-needed assistance on the side of the road.
And there you have it. We hope this deep dive into the world of roadside vehicle technicians has given you a better understanding of what this career is all about, the challenges, the rewards, and the exciting possibilities that lie ahead. Remember, knowledge is power, and with the right tools and resources, like those offered by RoleCatcher, you can navigate the ever-changing landscape of work with confidence. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep those engines running.